This was the most humiliating and horrible thing I've ever been through. I have never felt more removed from my own humanity.
How does Amber Heard feel about Johnny Depp selling their infamous LA penthouse? Did Amber Heard's lawyer just admit that the actress is extremely broke? And what does Twitter have to say about this chaotic situation? Stay tuned, because we've got all the intel on this infamous court battle. Losing it all. While Depp has finally won, Amber Heard has lost a whole lot, from memories to money to her credibility. But before we get into that, let's give you some context of the whole situation. Johnny Depp was married to actress Amber Heard from 2015 to 2017, until Amber filed a lawsuit against Johnny for allegedly laying hands on her. At the time, Depp lost credibility and his spot in the Hollywood industry, but it doesn't end there. In 2018, Heard wrote an infamous op-ed for the Washington Post, whereby she referred to herself as a survivor of DV, which in turn wrecked Johnny's career and credibility further. So in 2022, after a 2-month trial in which Johnny sued Amber for defaming his character, the jury finally ruled in favor of Depp, awarding him $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive damages, which was reduced to $350,000 due to a Virginia state law that set a cap on the maximum amount that can be awarded. But what was Amber Heard's reaction to this? And how does she truly feel? The actress wrote a statement to Us Weekly in which she said, "The disappointment I feel today is beyond words. I'm heartbroken that the mountain of evidence still was not enough to stand up to the disproportionate power, influence, and sway of my ex-husband. I'm even more disappointed with what this verdict means for other women. It is a setback. It sets back the clock to a time when a woman who spoke up and spoke out could be publicly shamed and humiliated." She then continued, "I'm sad I lost this case, but I am sadder still that I seem to have lost a right I thought I had as an American, to speak freely and openly." So what has Amber lost since the trial, and who's still on her side? The infamous penthouse. For those of you who don't know, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's former penthouse is finally on the market. The lavish LA apartment where the exes spent much of their time. This penthouse is one of the 5 apartments that Johnny owned at the top of downtown LA's famous Eastern Columbia building. After his divorce from Heard in 2016, Depp actually listed and sold all 5 penthouses for a combined $12.78 million. But the most recent penthouse that went on the market, that Johnny listed for almost $2 million, is what has fans talking. The luxury condo is a 1-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-story residence with 1,780 square feet of space. Although that isn't why it's the talk of Twitter. It was the infamous apartment that was mentioned several times during the trial between Johnny and Amber. Depp's friend, Isaac Baruch, and building manager Brandon Patterson testified on the second day of the trial that several things occurred in that penthouse, which explains why Johnny's selling it. Depp's security guard even alleged that Amber Heard punched Johnny in the face in that same penthouse. And that isn't all. Depp accused Heard of cheating on him with Elon Musk back in 2019, and claimed in the lawsuit that Heard and Musk started their affair in March 2015, a month after Depp and Heard married. The documents read, "Unbeknownst to Mr. Depp, no later than 1 month after his marriage to Miss Heard, she was spending time in a new relationship with Tesla and SpaceX founder Elon Musk. Only 1 calendar month after Mr. Depp and Miss Heard were married, while Mr. Depp was out of the country." But here's where it gets shocking. Eastern Columbia building personnel testified that Heard saw Musk late at night at that same penthouse, and Amber even asked staff at the Eastern Columbia building to give her friend Elon access to the building's parking garage and the penthouse elevator late at night, and they testified that they did. Yeah, if we were Johnny, we'd be selling that apartment too. Sources are now saying that Amber's angry and distraught at Johnny's decision to sell this apartment, and that it was a huge asset to Amber in the first place. Of course, many members of the public begged to differ, and here's what they said. JD got to know through the trial that she was cheating on him in the same penthouse. That is disgusting. What does she expect him to do? Keep it as remembrance? He's right, that penthouse must be a nightmare for him. Too much bad memories. He's moving on with his life, and I find a wise decision. Broke for good. As well as losing the lavish home that she once shared with Johnny, Amber has also lost a lot of money. In 2018, Heard appeared on a Dutch talk show called RTL Late Night, where she said $7 million in total of her divorce settlement to Johnny was donated to charity.
$7 million in total was donated to, I split it between the ACLU and Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
This clip was finally shown in court, and Johnny's lawyer, Camille Vasquez, said,
"Sitting here today, Ms. Heard, you still haven't donated the $7 million to divorce settlement to charity. Isn't that right?
Johnny's lawyer kept pressing Amber until Amber Heard finally made it clear that she actually did lie under oath.
And as of today, you have not paid $3.5 million of your own money to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, correct?
I have not yet. Johnny sued me.
What makes this even more shocking is that Mr. Doherty said that $350,000 has been paid directly by Heard, $100,000 paid through Johnny Depp, and a shocking $500,000 paid by Elon Musk through a donor-advised fund. The ACLU executive then testified that the charity had not received any money from Heard since 2019 because the actor was having financial difficulties. The shocking part about this is that Amber then proceeded to blame Johnny for not being able to donate that money because he allegedly kept suing her, rather than admitting to spending her money on lavish living. She said,
Unfortunately,
You didn't donate it. It's a yes or no.
I haven't been able to to fulfill those
So that's a no, right, Ms. Heard?
I made the pledge. I want to be very clear. I pledged the entirety. I haven't been able to fulfill those pledges because I've been sued.
This is ironic, considering that it was Amber suing Johnny for the past 6 years until he finally decided to stand up for himself. Wow, while sitting on the stand for defamation, she diverts it onto Johnny by saying, "Not yet because Johnny sued me," like he's the monster at fault, not thinking of the charity. Crazy. But the plot thickens. During a July 2022 appearance on The Today Show, the day after the verdict, Heard's lawyer, Elaine Bredehoft, stated Amber was absolutely not able to pay the $10.35 million in damages. Embarrassing, right? Sources told the Post that Amber is broke due to hefty legal fees associated with the defamation trial. So what's Amber's solution? To sue Johnny even further. A source told Us Weekly she is 100% appealing on freedom of speech and is telling friends she is determined to take it all the way to the Supreme Court if she has to. She is not able to comprehend that she lost. She is convinced that she will win. I mean, Amber was convinced that she would win last time. Either way, we hope that Elon Musk would step in once again to help cover the legal fees. Otherwise, Amber would be in deep trouble. One fan wrote, Johnny gave her so many options to avoid going to court. He begged her to write a letter together saying they had reconciled their differences and are moving on in peace. But no, she refused and continued to run his name through the mud for 6 years. This is your bed, sweetie. You made it. The dying credibility. Over the past year, Amber, who was once loved in Hollywood, has also lost a lot of credibility. While the TikTok hashtag #IStandWithAmberHeard has gained more than 8 million views, justice for Johnny Depp is at 15 billion views and counting. No comparison there, right? One NBC News reporter also noticed that the internet simply wasn't built for a trial like this, simply because the internet is extremely savage. We can't forget that the Amber Heard is guilty hashtag and similar hashtags have gained over 900 million views. Rather than backing down, Amber said, "I don't care what one thinks about me or what judgments you want to make about what happened in the privacy of my own home, in my marriage, behind closed doors." She then added, "I don't presume the average person should know those things, and so I don't take it personally, but you still couldn't look me in the eye and tell me that you think on social media there's been a fair representation. You cannot tell me that you think that this has been fair." We can't help but agree. We do feel like the hate campaigns occurring on either side are uncalled for. But let's not forget that Johnny lost all his opportunities in Hollywood, while Amber still has these until this day. The petition for Amber Heard to be removed from the Aquaman franchise was started after Johnny Depp was asked to step down from his role in Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore. The Change.org petition has passed over 4.5 million signatures, with the new goal being a whopping 6 million. But what's shocking is that rather than listening to fans, Warner Brothers most recently increased Heard's screen time in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom by 20 to 25 minutes, and the decision comes after the defeat to fellow celebrity Johnny Depp in a defamation case. Of course, Twitter went wild. One user wrote, "AH has been proven to be the and allowed to keep her screen time in Aquaman 2. I boycotted number 1, and I will boycott Aquaman 2. I'm a DV survivor and am disgusted by how another survivor is still being treated and his is being awarded." Another wrote, 4 days after Johnny Depp lost a defamation suit in the UK, he was fired from FB3. 8 days after Amber Heard lost a defamation suit in Virginia, her screen time in Aquaman 2 was doubled. Double standards are alive and well at Warner Brothers Studio. And one user retweeted this, writing, "I'll just say it right now. I'm not watching Aquaman or any other movie WB puts out in the theaters, with or without Amber. They literally have the moral backbone of a chocolate eclair, and it's sickening." So what are your thoughts on this whole thing? Will Heard ever be held accountable for any of her actions? And will she be able to pay the legal fees against her? And if you think that's shocking, you won't want to miss this next video here.